What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. Juliet's words in Act 2, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet couldn't be clearer. Names can change. So if we call a rose by any other name, its scent would still be just as pleasing. Hi, everyone. In this episode, I'm going to do something different. We've titled this one, What's in a Name? Because many folks out there don't know that the Victoria Theater wasn't always called the Victoria Theater. Or maybe you aren't sure how the Schuster Center got its name. Or even what in the world Dayton Live is. Well, in this episode, we're going to learn all about it. Ever wonder what it takes to make a live performance come together? Join me for an exploration of the lore, the history, and the machinery that make the magic happen. This is Behind the Scenes at Dayton Live. Dayton Live owns and operates the Victoria Theater, the Metropolitan Arts Center with the Loft Theater, the Benjamin and Marion Schuster Performing Arts Center, the Arts Garage, and we also run the PNC Arts Annex. That's 700,000 square feet in downtown Dayton! But we weren't always Dayton Live. You may remember back in March of 2020, the world began to close due to COVID-19. Well, right here on the Schuster Center stage, on March 10th of 2020, we held our season announcement and rebrand event for around 1,500 people. And the next day, hundreds of performances were postponed or canceled. How did we come to the name Dayton Live? Well, over the course of 2019, we held a series of focus groups, hired an ad agency, and developed a name and brand that we felt better reflected what we do. We present live performing arts on our stages here in Dayton. So what were we before Dayton Live? Ooh, good question. Well, first was the Victory Theater Association. After some tumultuous years and a theater-saving campaign, our name changed to Victoria Theater Association. But that was understandable because of the Victoria Theater renovation in 1990, long before the Schuster Center or the PNC Arts Annex or even the Arts Garage had been built. But it started to get confusing to many in the community. We believe Dayton Live better reflects who we are, what we do, and how we want to serve Dayton. Speaking of name changes, now let's move on to the Victoria Theater. The Victory Theater. The Music Hall. The Turner Opera House. You get the drift. It originally opened as the Turner Opera House in 1866. The Turner brothers built a beautiful theater in the heart of downtown that became the focal point of live performances, theater, music, and dance. After a devastating fire in 1869, it was rebuilt and renamed. In 1871, it was called the Music Hall. 1885 saw another name change to the Grand Opera House. 15 years later, in 1900, the building was renamed the Victoria Opera House. Guess what happened just 2 years later? That's right, it was renamed the Victoria Theater. Dizzy yet? Well, the Great Flood of 1913 saw major repairs to the theater, and then another serious fire in 1917 gutted everything. Luckily for Dayton, it was rebuilt and renamed the Victory Theater. Finally, in 1989, after a massive renovation, it was renamed the Victoria Theater, what we know today. It's the home of many of our school day performances called the Discovery Series, music concerts, family programming, and so much more! Whew, what a journey! Now, I bet you're wondering about the Schuster Center. How did this gem in downtown get its name? Look no further than Dr. Benjamin and Marion Schuster. Back in 1999, just as the committee tasked to raise money to build this world-class performing arts center was celebrating the demolition of the former Rex department store building, Dr. Benjamin Schuster and his wife Marion made a major contribution to the project. Their gift helped propel the project forward and is the reason we affectionately call the building the Schuster Center. Well, I hope that clears it up for you. For over 150 years, live performing arts has had a profound impact on downtown Dayton. Even though the names of buildings and organizations have changed, Dayton's love for the arts has not. So join us at one of our venues and experience what the arts have to offer. Remember, Dayton Live is your home for arts, culture, and entertainment. I'll see you soon. Now, I couldn't let you go without a little bit of bonus information. Now, many of you might be wondering why we spell the Victoria Theater as theater with an R-E, when a lot of buildings out there are spelled theater with an E-R. Well, the truth is that they're both right. If you think back hundreds of years ago, when theater was the main source of entertainment in Britain, they were spelling all of their theaters with R-E. As settlers moved from Britain over to America, they brought a lot of those spelling traditions with them. So here in America, you will see a lot of theaters that are spelled with R-E. Now, there are some people out there that believe when you spell theater with an R-E, it means a building. And if you spell theater with an E-R, it means the art form. But the truth is that it's just semantics. They're both right. So, I want you to go out there and see some theater at a theater by a theater company. Well, you get what I mean. Go out and see some shows. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Behind the Scenes at Dayton Live. I'll see you next time.